since I have 4 kids, this is something that we ask around the dinner table, and this is a great conversation starter, but could you give me a high, a low, and a buffalo of your career? So if you're like, what's a buffalo? It could be something silly, funny, like a funny story, something people don't know about you. Because getting to hang out with you guys last night, it was funny. Like, you gave me permission to chirp you for Game 7s. So there you go. We could get a high of your career, maybe a low, and then a buffalo.
High and low of my career. I obviously didn't reach the level that James and Dean did. Playing my first NHL preseason game in Calgary, I was a Calgary Flames fan growing up, and so that was a pretty neat opportunity to, you dream about putting on an NHL jersey, and though I didn't get to do it full time, that was a pretty cool high. I remember coming here to Kelowna. I had never played any rep hockey up to that point. My story was a little bit backwards. I wasn't drafted into the WHL. I wasn't drafted into the NHL. So as an undrafted player who hadn't played anything higher than midget AA, the opportunity to come to Kelowna and the Rockets organization treated me incredibly well. The Hamilton family took a chance on a young kid that had never played anywhere, and when they listed me and then gave me the opportunity to come here and play, in some ways I was saying to Dean, because Dean, being so much older than James and I are, he was actually a guy
I'm surprised I was still around when you were coming up.
Dean's last year junior, he got traded to the Swift Current Broncos, and my hometown is only an hour from Swift Current. So in many ways, the Western Hockey League was almost it wasn't a bigger deal than the NHL, but it was in the sense that those were the guys that were accessible and that we watched. And so that dream of playing in the Western Hockey League was massive. And I remember going and watching that team with Jason Krawaluk and yourself and Andy Schneider. It was an incredible team. And so that dream of playing in the Western Hockey League was pretty big. So that was a big high. Low, that's a long story. My career, as much as it took off fairly quickly, it fell off really fast as well. I had an opportunity. I signed with the Oilers for 2 more seasons. When I met with the Oilers organization at the end of right before I signed, they said I'd come off a pretty good year, second half of my American League season. They said next year will be the opportunity to step in to at least get a chance in the NHL. That was a lockout year. And so the only time in the history of the game that there's been a year-long lockout was that year. I had 1 more year left on my deal, and I was pretty excited. I was living with Ryan Smith, who was a very good friend, and he was really vouching for me and kind of giving me advice as training camp went on. He was coming and saying, JJ, they're looking for this from you, and you need to do this. And so I almost felt like I had a bit of an inside track. We played in Edmonton. We flew to Dallas, and it was the first time that I was on the ice that I said, do you know what? I belong here. I believe that I belong here. The end of the first period, I got tangled up in a scrum, dislocated my shoulder, ended up having surgery, and never played another NHL game or signed another contract. That year was really tough because as fast as kind of the opportunity came, it went. And I believe God had his hand in that too, but it was, that was a tough year. A Buffalo All-Star game down in Florida for the ECHL, breakaway competition, tripped and fell in the corner. That was a good one.
James, don't you love when that happens? Yeah.
Actually, this is something completely different, but probably my greatest claim to fame is that I terrified Connor McDavid. So you can find it on YouTube. It's a real thing. You can actually see the Lord. It's like angels in the outfield, if you know it. Yeah. He had a penalty shot, and he mishandled the puck and dumped it in the corner. So, you know what? You and McDavid, same thing. So, thanks.
That is awesome.
No, a high for me, that was actually a pretty big high. But no, I think honestly my first game in the NHL, you work so hard and to be able to be a part of that. The whole day, the whole night before, you're so nervous and you really don't even enjoy it until the puck drops or till the end of the game. But I still remember Brian Burke coming to me that afternoon. I was super nervous, and he's like, "Hey, we wouldn't put you in there if we didn't believe in you." And I remember thinking, like, "Oh, great. Well, at least you believe in me. I sure don't." So that was probably my high, though. That was really special. Low, I probably should say Game 7, but I've actually blocked that out of my memory. So I have no idea what Barb was even talking about. No, honestly, my second season in Toronto, I got hurt early on. I got a concussion, and unbeknownst to me, it affected my vision. Maybe I should have figured it out sooner, but I couldn't stop a puck all year, even in practice. Sometimes as goalies, if you have a bad game, you go to practice the next day, you work your butt off, you take shot after shot after shot. And it was like, I couldn't stop the puck, not consistently, and I was so frustrated the whole year. And so that was a really trying time for me. Felt like all your talent and skill had been taken from you, but God's grace, I found someone in the summer, and he fixed me, so that's big. And another big low for me was maybe a Buffalo, was this fall. I was training and trying to stay in shape, and I was looking for ice, and Vernon Vipers were so kind to let me come out and get some ice, and I got some goalie ice there, and Dino was kind enough to come out and shoot on me, but I'm trying to get into shape, I'm trying to get better, and he's scoring on me, and so it was at that point I realized I should probably retire if he's scoring on me.
I know it's building to something, but when you said he's scoring on me, it's like, this isn't true. I guess I'm up, right? High. Game 3 winner against Anaheim, Stanley Cup Finals. Low. It might be tied in with Buffalo too. I don't know exactly what the young lingo is by Buffalo, but I was in St. Louis. There's a delayed penalty. I go flying into the offensive zone, pull up, looking for a guy to pass to. Dennis Weidman's coming in over the blue line. I see him over the right shoulder of this guy, and just as I rip the pass at him, he goes to the left shoulder of this guy, and I stood in the corner, and if there was a score to win, it was like a curved ball right in the heart of our net because our goalie wasn't in, so it was a great shot, but not the highlight of my life for sure.
Right.
So I think that would probably have to be the Buffalo too. I guess it ties together, does it not?
That's a pretty good Buffalo too. I haven't heard that one yet. Yeah.